Okay, welcome. My name's Todd. I do fantasy football podcasting during the off season, and I've done one um, already, one or two videos about how I like to take uh, board games and turn them into computer versions. That lets you play the board game. It's not a computer game. Some of my other ones, Andy Lewis has helped me with some of the stuff I can't do. I always appreciate Andy's help. This one, I've gotten to this point on my own. And without further ado, let's share my screen. And sorry, I should have kept talking while I was doing that. So let's go over to my Excel sheet. Um, I've got a few different tabs. So I've got men's results, women's results. I've got the greatest teams. I've got players is basically all the players. I don't want to show too much of that. So all the player card information is on those screens. After the tournament, you can see Lindsay Davenport won the first tournament, beating Hannah Mandlikova, and you don't get anything for getting knocked out in the first round. You get 1 point for getting knocked out in the second round, 2 for the quarterfinals, 3 for the semis, 5 for losing in the final, and 7 for winning. I'm going to double those numbers for the 4 majors. You can see the different tournaments and what the hard clay or grass, which is very important in the game. Like all the play games, I'm really enjoying it. So now you can look over at the men's. Jimmy Connors beat John McEnroe in the first men's tournament. So here is the tournament, and I wanted to show you. So here are the different things that come with the game. And I don't use for the tournament. Most of this here is based on the by the set, right? So I'll explain it a little further. I also don't want to just leave all this info here, but it's only a few players. All right, so blue means it's hard surface. Green means grass. Bold with an underline means they have double. The surfaces are over here. I can go into that a little bit more. Like if you look at the players, you can see it. Over here, you have the total number of things for like forehand, that's 1, backhand 2, volley 3, footwork 4, endurance 5, savvy 6. So let's say Leighton Hewitt has on a hard surface, he has, so I count this as a half, right? He's got half. This counts as 2, 2.5, 3, 5, 7. All right. So he has 7 total, 7 on hard, 6 on clay, 6 on grass. That is used along with the points from from your the tournament to decide seeding for the next tournament. Once we get into the tournament mode, and that's what really everyone cares about. So this tournament, I am in the quarterfinals. You can see Jimmy Connors seeded first versus Bjorn Borg, 2 and 7, 3 and 11, 5 and 20. The way seeding works in tennis is that you are so like if you're 32nd and here we could see it with the female. Svetlana Kuznetsova upset Chris Everett in the first round. So she stays though in that time frame, and then what will happen is, boy, that looks like it might be a mistake. Yeah, she shouldn't be. They don't reseed, so I'm going to check that later. I don't want to get caught in the mud here, but basically, I then turn it so that the higher seeded player is always the favorite. Okay, so let's look at the different things that are on the sheet, and then I'll play a little bit and we'll get out of here. So all your qualities are here, and the way the set works is I've got two of them. So let's say 34. I'm gonna do this a different way so I can show something else. Let me wait. All right. So see how it says 21? That's not read that way. It's always the lower number. So 12 would be forehand and backhand. In a case like that, you'd go down here. Neither Connors or Borg have forehand, and Connors has two backhands to Borg's one. That is a small advantage. In this case, wouldn't matter because we'd go to the unusual chart, and then I would use this number. 1 and 4 is 5. I would look at unusual for 5. Overconfident favor gets humbled, underdog lead 5-1. So if I was playing that, that's how it would go. But we don't want that right now. So 1-6, that's forehand and savvy. So for the set status, if you end up with the same number on the ones that the qualities show, you get, if it's a tie, it's even. If there's a 1 advantage, it's small, 2 moderate, 3. So like here, if foot and endurance were the ones that were being used, that's a total of 4 that could happen. You get 2 for foot, 2 for endurance, that's 4. Endurance for Jimmy Connors would be 2, and that means that Borg would have a 2 advantage, which is a moderate. That would mean that he had a trails 5-3. We would then go over to the no rally, and you see that there are final numbers of how the sets ends and question marks. If the set ends, you would just write in here 6-4, and that would be the end of the set. Of course, I don't have that formatted because that's not the way I do it. I just put the number. Now that's not working either. All right, let's just format these real quick. And I don't know why it's doing it now when it hadn't before. I always set it to text. So if it was a 6-4 in the first set, you would go 6-4, and Jimmy Connors won the first set. If the second set, Bjorn Borg won 7-5, that would be set 2. And of course, I didn't move that over. And so on. All right. So this is a VLOOKUP. So basically, that means that, and you can see I have this part of the screen frozen. And we'll go down till we see it. Where did I put it? There we go. Come on. All right, so this is the chart that's pulling from, 2 to 12. It's tied to the number that's in AN2, which is here, which I hid because I don't want to see it, but it's the total of these 2 dice. And that is what for the set status is. That tells you higher 5-4. Well, higher 5-4 would mean I would go over to this chart and then look at this number. It's a 7. That means that that person would win the set 7-5. Let's say that was a 6. That means that it would have been a question mark. That would have sent us to no rally, unpredictable outcome. So we would look at the second set of qualities, 1-3, forehand volley. In that case, neither have forehand, and Connors has a 2-1 lead in volley. That is a 1 advantage. So now we go over here. A 1 advantage is small, and the person A means the advantage. The person who had the advantage gets the set win. Connors would win that set. All right, let's do the second set of this match. 3-4. That is volley and footwork. Connors 1 lead. Borg takes 2 here. So it's 3-2. Borg gets a slight advantage. We look over here. A trails 5-3. So it means that even though Borg had the advantage, the favorite is always the favorite. The underdog is always the underdog. So that means we're looking here. An 8 means that it's a 6-3. And Jimmy Connors would have won the set. I would then take Bjorn Borg's name here. I would delete it because his information, because I don't need it anymore for this tournament. I've got it all over here. I've got it in the players section. I've got it in the results section. Jimmy Connors is advancing, so I would take him down. I'd put him below the women, and I would move on to the next match. Next match is McEnroe versus Agassi. So we get a 12. So every time I move anything, all the numbers switch. So 12 forehand, backhand. Blue, we are on a hard surface, so that's 2. Backhand is 1 is 3. Agassi is 4. That means he gets a small advantage. But again, A trails 5-4. We go over here. It's 6. Basically what we did last time. So that means that we go to the second set of qualities. 36 is volley and savvy. McEnroe has a 1 lead there. He has another 1 lead here. That means he has a moderate lead, and he wins the tiebreaker. So again, I'm never going to keep all the set results. I don't care at this point. Maybe at a certain point I'll give points for winning a set, but for now I'm not. So McEnroe wins the first set. He needs 1 more. This isn't a major, so even men's, it's a 2 out of 3 sets. 25 is backhand and endurance. Agassi gets a 1 lead. Endurance, McEnroe has a 1 lead, so it's even. The higher seed gets 5-4. That's McEnroe, and he is the favorite. So we look here. The number 9 is a 6-4, so he wins the second set as well. And Andre Agassi is eliminated. Eventually, I would take these. I would cut them, put them into the men's results for the second week. Where did I put that? Okay, that's the final tournament. All right, here's the new tournament. So I would paste that in, and each one of them will get 2 points. I like waiting to the end to do that. All right, so we're back over here. Agassi is eliminated. We delete his information. We move McEnroe down because he's moving on to the semifinals. And we move these 2 up for the next match. Okay, let's say this was the final, okay? There's you can see the tourney type I put here. I leave some information if I want to play singles here. I've got information for point by point over here. The fast forward stuff I have here, but I tend not to use that here. So when I get to the finals, I go over to the game board. You can see where, okay, I don't even need to do that. I left from last time Connors and McEnroe in here. You can see that it was a 6-4, and it was 6-4, 6-4, 6-0. So the favorite won, Connors won the tournament. But let's say that didn't happen. Let's play how I do this here. Okay, you can see I've got a number of dice rolls because I don't want to have to keep rolling the dice while I'm in the middle. I want to try and resolve each set or point with 1 roll. So the first one is 4 and 5. So that means I look over here. It's footwork and endurance. Footwork neither has. Connors has a 2-1 advantage. So that's a small one. A leads 5-2. All right, so now I go 5-2, and I'm going to play it out from here. I want to use the fast forward module. The fast forward model, roll on qualities, this set chart above to start a game with the potential final serve. Even is deuce, small advantage. So that info is right over here. By by putting in 5 and 2, this reset. So this is read as 1-6. 16 is forehand and savvy. McEnroe has 2 in blue. It is a hard surface, so he gets that. The other one is savvy. They both have 2. So Connors has a moderate lead, and A, again, stands for advantage. A leads 5-3. So it is now 3-5. I'm sorry, I just lost my train. All right. Apologies. It's 5-2. Let's do that again. McEnroe had a 2 advantage. That means he's winning the game 40-15. All right. So I put the game and tiebreak info in here. The favorite has 15. The underdog has 40. We are now playing the actual game. There's room for chips. And so I've only done this once. So, all right. That's where these numbers come in, the return and the winner. 5 on is the serve. That means that the serve, okay, I have to figure out who's serving. So even means that the underdog serve first, because I do odd even. So the underdog serve first. That means he's odd numbers. This is an even number. The server gets the X. So the server served a 5, which means the number 7 didn't come up. The number 12 didn't come up. His double fault didn't come up. His ace didn't come up. So it's just a regular serve. The underdog now has to return it. If he had a performance chip, he could use it. The favorite didn't earn a performance chip. The number is 4. That is not within McEnroe's range. So he does not return it. It's now 15-30. He serves again. He gets a 7. So he gets 2 chances at performance chips as a server. He gets 1 because he has the hard quality. So that is 1 chip. And then the other one is based on the qualities. So 13 is forehand and volley. No, wait, how does that go? Over here. All right. So the underdog is black, number 5, endurance. He does have 1 endurance. So McEnroe gets 2 chips. Okay. I will reset my rolls because I ended it. And but he made a good serve. The return is a 12. That is not within the range of Jimmy Connors, and John McEnroe wins the game because he had 40. So now it is 4-3. So that's basically it. That's how I do it. Pretty much everything that I want to have in here is in here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, let me know on the Play site. And I appreciate the time. And I appreciate Keith Avalone and his great games. And golf is up next for me. I'm hoping for a nice sale on the golf game. Although there's a lot in the booklet. That's going to be pretty interesting to try and get over. Some other games that I have, I'm going to give you one more thing before I get out of here. A couple other games that I've done this for. This is Play, so I'll leave it just with Play. But here's my red, white, and blue racing game. The booklet is not in here. I don't mind looking at the booklet for. I don't mind looking at the booklet, but here you can see the metallic dice. You can see the black die for the the red, white, and blue in order, the number of laps, the Watkins Glen track and the different things, some information for myself here, your repair rolls, dual instigator, fuel feud. Maybe I'll do a race with that if there's any interest at some point. So thank you again. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the video.